This all came up as an idea for you, and everything about ATP.
Yes. It started off as an idea because when I first moved to Los Angeles is a very kind of car-centric city. I was surprised at how isolated I felt. And the reason that was happening was because I was stuck a lot of the time in the bubble of my car. Whereas my experience in a lot of other cities was one in which you were exposed to the heartbeat of the city because the transit system took you in and out of a number of different communities or centers, city centers. And it was easy to meet people because of that, because you're constantly engaging with people. In some ways, I feel like that's why New Yorkers are so gregarious, is because they're constantly engaging with other people. So as I was traveling around Los Angeles, I thought to myself, when and if I have the opportunity to have an outreach to people, I'd like to try to change that. I'd like to be more respectful of my environment and engage with the community that I'm living in more. And so 3 years ago, I decided to give up my car, go car-free for 7 days in a month. And one of my co-stars joined in, Seamus Dever. And it started there, and we just volunteered these days without a car, and people across the globe joined in. And it's been pretty special. There have been some really neat stories since then.
Yeah. Did anyone think you were crazy when you first decided to do this?
You know what's funny is the production, because we were filming at that time, production was nervous. And I had to get on the phone with the producers because they were concerned that I would be riding my bicycle down to San Pedro. We had a filming day in San Pedro. And they were wondering how that was going to happen and if I was going to be riding my bicycle on the highway and things like that. But I spoke with Andrew Marlowe, I spoke with Laurie Zacks. I think those were the two producers on the phone that day. And after they heard what it was about, they were tremendously supportive and just very excited about it and the project and the intention behind the project. And Andrew, had his own experience living without a car in Los Angeles for a long while. And so I think that he's very environmentally conscious as well, and respectful. And so I think that was something that he could, stand behind, and Laurie as well. And so it's quite sweet.
Now, Earth Day is coming up.
Yes.
Do you get excited when it comes around? I mean, I assume so.
Yes.
Yeah?
Well, of course,
Why,
yeah.
Why is it so important, this holiday?
I think it re-emphasizes the fact that, or maybe brings to mind globally the idea of being careful and respectful of the world that we live on, and finding ways of integrating a healthy lifestyle and a healthy experience and creating a space in which the future can exist in that same kind of healthy atmosphere.
Do you have a message now that you have this platform for when Green Day comes? Like, what is your message to fans about that day? Do you encourage them to do something? Do you want them to try going without their car on that day? What's your message?
Well, I think the tagline for ATP is go car free for just one day. And if you just dedicate at least one day, that's huge. There's a huge impact. If everyone on the planet just dedicated one day without a car, there would be a really huge impact for us as a community and for the environment in general.
On an international level, but like bringing communities together, whether like meeting people on the bus, that's what we're meant to do as humans. It's to
socialize, congregate, create a sense of community. The transit system in a city, cities have been in existence. I remember listening to this guy speak. Cities have been in existence way longer than the car has. So creating a city that can exist without just car travel is really important, and to the actual fiber of that city. So I think that this city in specific has to rethink some of our traveling setup. And we have to be a part of generating that same thought pattern for developing countries and cities, and also for other metropolitan areas.
Yeah.
And we're a part of creating kind of a culture, because we are the ones that put movies out there, we're the ones that put entertainment on television, all sorts of kind of imagery. So if we are a part of that messaging system and service, then I think we have a really wonderful opportunity here to create a message that is going to positively affect our planet, our future, community, just a global community even, you know, not just like, oh, I live in the US, I'm a part of the US community, or I live in, you know, Argentina, I'm a part of the Argentinian community. It's a global thing too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this is a great place for it to start, and I've seen it reverberate internationally, and it's just a matter of giving up using a car regularly and choosing something different at least once a week, you know.
And I see it on your set because we just saw Nathan on an electric scooter zipping along.
Yes, and it's really exciting actually, because he's also made an effort to explore alternative kind of methods of travel through new technology, as have some of the other co-stars, and Seamus rides his bike to work often. So, and that's had effects on other people too, like makeup artists have ridden their bike to work, some of the assistants and PAs, and even one of our assistant directors rides his bike to work regularly from an hour away. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really impressive. Yeah.
Wow. Now,
it's much more fun, isn't it?
Yeah.